We recently talked about how institutional players in Wall Street is getting really more bullish on crypto than ever before. And I feel like a lot of the recent events, especially at Ripple's swell, we kind of saw that increased bullish view on crypto from some of the biggest names in finance. Recently, I saw a post from Reese Merrick, who is a Ripple employee. And he said, full circle moment for me at Ripple Swell a couple of weeks ago. 7 years ago when I joined Ripple, I remember meeting with large financial institutions. It was clear that they felt uneasy even discussing digital assets and blockchain technology. Fast forward to now, I'm moderating a panel at our annual event with three of the largest financial institutions globally: Fidelity, Franklin Templeton, and Citi, discussing how they are all deploying products on chain. You are not bullish enough. The fact that this is coming from a Ripple employee telling us that we are not bullish enough, I think speaks volumes. Even with the recent market sell-off, even with what's been happening around crypto for the last couple months, because again, the last sell-off was not even just the worst of it. We have technically been in a downtrend for a very long time, since going all the way back to July. The recent sell-off was just another cut to add to the thousands that we already had. And, again, it's very easy to switch up on crypto. It's very easy to get frustrated and negative. But we are starting to see that increased adoption. We're starting to see that increased move from some of the biggest financial institutional, players worldwide. And when you have an employee from Ripple telling us what's happening here and having these discussions and telling us, hey, you are not bullish enough, he really does mean it. Now, on top of that, we got this post from him as well, which was: the digital future demands unified infrastructure, not piecemeal solutions. Ripple is building infrastructure that will enable global finance to go on chain. Payments, real-time cross-border payments utilizing XRP RLUSD on the XRP ledger. Custody, bank-grade security for managing private keys and digital assets. Tokenization, turning real-world assets into highly liquid digital tokens on the XRP ledger. Prime brokerage, institutional platform for clearing, financing, and OTC execution across digital assets. And we still have Rail Financial, G Treasury, and Palisade Inc. to officially join the party. This is a clear sign that Ripple is building out the largest institutional grade infrastructure for the digital financial future. Now, in this video, I really want to go over a few things because I think that a recent post that we got from G Treasury gave us an insight on what we can soon expect. Now, before I really get into everything, I just want to quickly let you guys know that DCENT Wallet is having its Black Friday sale. It's 40% off right now when you buy the double package and 30% off when you get the single package. This deal won't last forever. The cutoff is December 3rd. If you already have a DCENT wallet, maybe you can buy one for a family member or a friend that's in the crypto space that needs one. And also, it's never a bad idea to have multiple wallets set up. If you guys do want to get one today for up to 30 to 40% off, you guys are more than welcome to utilize my link down in the description below to ensure that you do not miss this incredible deal. So with that being said, let's dive on back into the video. So yeah, G Treasury got acquired back in October. It was announced on October 16th. So it's a little over a month now since we got this announcement. Now, initially, we got an update on exactly how big G Treasury was: 40 plus years of expertise, multi-trillion dollar corporate treasury market. This is a massive name. Okay. We already talked about it, especially when we think about just the size of G Treasury. We've gone over the 13,000 connected banks, the $12.5 trillion payments volume that they're putting up, all of the names tied back to it. We broke down the full platform. So why am I bringing it back up? Why are we still talking about G Treasury? Has something changed? Has something, did something come up? Well, G Treasury posted a video, and this goes back to the 20th, same day that we got this post from Reese Merrick. The on-chain evolution led by Ripple and G Treasury is well underway, and with it comes paths for CFOs to consider as they begin their adoption journey. At the center of it all is ensuring choice and best fit options remain open always. Rather than making waves, the best treasury transformations allow options with measurable improvements that advance your operations without unnecessary turbulence or limitations from singular and outsourced paths. Ripple and G Treasury deliver evolutionary digital infrastructure options, serving hundreds of institutions across the globe with a combined 50 plus years of expertise. Now, if we're looking into this post, we have creating CFO value through digital infrastructure choice versus just making waves. In today's rapidly evolving payments landscape, treasury leaders are inundated with claims about rail-agnostic platforms and promises of flexibility. But when you scratch beneath the surface, you might ask, does your treasury solution provider truly empower you with choice, or are they quietly steering you towards their preferred rails and partners? Well, this is where, of course, Ripple and G Treasury come into play. What rail agnostic really means and why it matters. Essentially, the best way to describe this is just you could tap into multiple payment rails. And that's exactly where we have that no lock-in period with Ripple and G Treasury. So they even say down here that, with this, you could basically tap into multiple platforms. You have that increased connectivity as well. I mean, the best way to look at this is the fact that it's kind of fully breaking down exactly why we should be, focused on what Ripple was doing here with G Treasury and how XRP could essentially be that, bridge. But we have down here choice over mandates. So unlike platforms that suddenly push, customers towards their own payment infrastructure or preferred partners, we offer you the choice between traditional wire transfers, SWIFT, ACH, and instant blockchain-based payments, all based on your specific transaction needs, not our business model. You maintain complete control over if and when to explore new digital asset features. Adoption is entirely at your pace. The best part about this is we know for a fact that instant blockchain-based payments will become the preferred way over time. Right now, the fact that they do have a choice between wire transfers, SWIFT, and ACH, with, of course, blockchain is definitely a big plus one. But we already know what the best preferred way of sending and receiving money would be here. Blockchain. It's going to take some time to get there, but I do think that over time, like I said, it will become the preferred way. But adoption is still in the early phase here. But the fact that we know that instant blockchain-based payments is now a reality through this, we already know where they are, really kind of achieving that. And it's through XRP. We've talked about this. But that means that, with this treasury platform that has 13,000 connected banks, we could soon see an increased exposure to blockchain through all those names. Now, it won't happen overnight, but we'll definitely get there. Here we have the expertise advantage. Hundreds of financial institutions can't be wrong. When evaluating treasury partners, expertise matters. Consider the difference. And then here we have, of course, the full breakdown of why Ripple, with, of course, their proven track record, 65 plus markets, their global financial network, and then, of course, the real world performance as well with banks and institutional players. Now, we also have G Treasury's depth as well. Then beyond that, we do have real results, not promises. And this is where we see all of the names that, have given out their full-on breakdown of why Ripple and how their experience with Ripple has been. We have Trangelo, which is 100 plus financial institutions and partners globally through Ripple's network, supporting 5,000 plus payout partners across 70 plus countries. This is where we start to see the numbers in real time. We have SBI Remit as well, CM Commercial Bank, Money Match, Travelex Bank. I mean, when we think about what's actually happening here with Ripple, and if we think about the future as well, even with tokenization, all of this stuff, this entire article, when I'm looking at it, all I can think about is what Ripple has been telling us, which is the fact that XRP is at the center point of everything that they're doing. It's their core foundation. Even when we think about rail agnostic, I mean, yeah, sure, you could say, all right, well, it doesn't really matter because XRP is a bridge asset. This is not what they mean by rail agnostic. And essentially, yeah, it's not. What they're really talking about here is, if you tap into G Treasury through Ripple, you could utilize wire transfers, you could utilize Swift, ACH, or even blockchain if you wanted to. That's rail agnostic. However, I do think that over time, the dominant choice here will be, blockchain. And we already know that XRP and the XRPL is in Ripple's best interest, even with this acquisition, which is very bullish because this entire article is telling us like how everything is going to move to a more digital view over time, which is why even at the bottom here, we're starting to see the tokenization advantage preparing for tomorrow, today, because the reality is that tokenization, digital assets, stablecoins, things like that, it's becoming more and more dominant as the choice for institutional players, for banks, and also just for, traditional financial fintech companies. So again, the main thing here is the evolution, the shift. Now, on top of that, we did hear from G Treasury CEO at RippleSwell on his clients having a big problem. Big shout out to Digital Asset Investor for this video, but they need to be able to move 50 million plus in a fast and inexpensive way. They may want to put Brad Garlinghouse's best friend Arrington on the phone with them because XRP solves this. You know where this is going. Lock in. And I'll play a video clip regarding this here in a moment, but listen closely.
And one of the clients there said, look, I'm too scared about crypto. And then I said, well, what if we could give you a product that moves your money in minutes? Mm-hmm. And he immediately connected that to, I have 2 subsidiaries in Europe that are holding 50 million extra cash because they're worried about their payments in 3 or 5 days of settlement. I could free up 50 million and create yield. If you could bring that to me, I'm ready.
It's fantastic. It fills a big need. And for a hedge fund like us to be able to denominate in Ripple and XRP, I just did the same thing, is really, really, really good. When we did our first close, we moved north of $50 million into the company in Ripple and XRP in like 2 seconds, and it cost 30 cents. Now that is amazing. There's no way to do that with fiat or Bitcoin. There's just no way to do it that fast and that cheaply, and so it serves a really useful need for us. And then also when our LPs eventually redeem, hopefully never, but when they want some of the money back, we just send it in XRP again, and there's no 3-day wait for international wires or 1-day wait for US wires. We're not paying wire fees and all that. It's just, I don't understand why that's hard to understand.
So yeah, listen, this is exactly the video clip that I was going to play because I looked it up and I found it. But yeah, I mean, listen, Michael Arrington from Arrington XRP Capital did move $50 million worth of XRP with their company in 2 seconds, and it cost it 30 cents. So yeah, there's a big issue out there whenever it comes back to treasury companies, whenever it comes back to payment companies. It doesn't matter. Like, every single issue out there around the traditional financial system can be solved, not just through Ripple and XRP, but through blockchain itself, which is why when we go back to what was in this article regarding utilizing Swift, wire transfers, ACH, like, why use any of this if you do have the instant blockchain-based payment side of things? It makes no sense to tap into the traditional system. This is why the traditional system will die over time if they don't innovate and, tap into these new technologies. But this is also why I'm so bullish on why these big banks are now at these major events talking about how they're deploying products on chain. It's the fact that we now have clear confirmation that these big players, these big banks, these big institutional players, they are now realizing that it's innovate or die. So now they're starting to lock in and tap into, on-chain products, modernizing their internal workflows. They want to innovate with digital assets. They want to tap into stablecoins. It's now a reality. It's no longer a game of, I wonder if they're going to do this at some point in time. No, they're doing it now. This is a big deal. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely like, subscribe, turn notifications on because more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord in the description below. And with that being said, guys, it's been Nick. Thanks for watching. Peace out.